So composability is a term that gets thrown around a lot these days. About 5 years ago, we heard composability in the context of commerce solutions, about, the shopping cart, the PDP, the PLP, the search, personalization, pricing, all of that. But increasingly, we hear about composability in supply chain, order management, backend systems, including from us, at Nextuple. We talk about composability a lot as well. I would like to, before we break that down, Jordan, help us, when you talk to retailers about composability, what do they hear?
Well, for the first time in our supply chain survey this year, we asked about composability. What are the key business drivers? And one of the top drivers and benefits of composability is operational resilience. It's essentially the ability to be agile enough to accommodate something different, but also to do that without causing disruption to your ongoing operations. Some of the other drivers and benefits really are improving the customer experience. So, we talked about providing early inventory and promise date information. That is a big way to serve the consumer, and then making the business more efficient, eliminating waste, such as using inventory to fulfill across channels rather than losing a sale because of lack of insight into that inventory. And, then where does that inventory go, into a landfill or who knows, it just maybe you wind up making more product you don't need to because you can't see the product you don't have. So there's a lot of waste component there. Over on the right, Scott was talking about the scalability. Composability can benefit that. So it's coming up a lot in our conversation with retailers. One of the benefits being that architecture that enables it to easily plug into legacy systems. So a lot of retailers are still working from legacy systems, like legacy OMS systems. And if with composability, you can still benefit from the modern orchestration and fulfillment capabilities that you want. And Dos, I'd like to ask you, two things. Like first, how does Nextuple think about composability of inventory generally? Like maybe speak a little bit more to what you were talking about. And then, second, and in a way, like Scott just mentioned, sort of the engineering aspect of it, but similarly, like how would you advise retailers individually when it comes to like sequencing the transition of their functions according to their priorities and the dependencies of their enterprise applications?
Right. Okay. I think a good question. So taking a step back, what does composability mean? Let's talk about microservices. Microservices, by definition, they are independent standalone units that is purpose built. They serve a specific purpose. They typically have a language they talk with, which is the API. They interact with other systems with that. What that allows microservices to do is that they can be tuned, scaled independently. You can make technology choices which are basically for that microservice. For some microservices, readability is a high priority. Some are write intensive. So you can tune and scale microservices independently. Now, composability means you are now bringing an ecosystem of microservices together to build a solution and solve a business problem. Now, the microservices could be a best of breed that you can buy from the market. You can some of it could be homegrown, and the solution that you're putting together is basically composed of these different microservices. That's how we think about microservices.